So I'm back downstairs in the kitchen, and it's about 5:30. The sun's going down, and before it gets any later, I'm going to fix some chicken thighs I've had in the freezer, and they needed to be fixed. So I think I'll just go ahead and cook those tonight. I've had them out here thawing, and it looks like I have about 4 chicken thighs in here. So let's get started on cooking these. Well, I was going to make the chicken thighs in a skillet and just saute them with some honey and garlic and butter, but I'm still trying to get over this cold. I still have a little congestion left. I'm getting better, but I just want to kick it on out. So I thought I would make some chicken thigh soup, and that'll make a good broth with that collagen in it. And so let's get to making that. I'm going to make it in the Instant Pot. I had to go upstairs to get it. So let me get you over here. So over here I have chopped up half of an onion, 2 stalks of celery, and some carrots. And I'm going to put them in the Instant Pot with some, probably a couple of tablespoons of minced garlic, and a half a tablespoon of oregano, and a half a tablespoon of basil, and some salt and pepper, and some onion powder and garlic powder. So let me get all of this in the Instant Pot. I wonder how much onion powder and garlic powder I should use. And I'll just leave it up to whatever I think. It doesn't really call for it on this recipe, but and I may leave it out since I've got the onions. And I'm going to take this over there. Okay, I've moved over to this side of the stove now, so I'm going to put my chopped vegetables, the onion, celery, and carrot, in the bottom of the Instant Pot. I don't have the trivet in there. I'm just putting it in straight. Okay. Now I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of this minced garlic. And about a half a tablespoon of oregano, half a tablespoon of basil leaves. You could use fresh, but I don't have fresh. I'm using the dried. And I'm going to put in 2 cups of water. And 2 cubes of chicken bouillon cube. And I'll be back. I'll get the chicken. I don't want to forget the salt and pepper, so I'm going to use about a half a teaspoon each. I've got the coarse ground black pepper here. And I'm going to use the pink Himalayan salt, half a teaspoon, because that chicken bouillon has salt in it too, so don't want to oversalt it. And now I'm going to place the chicken thighs in here. I've washed them and rinsed them. They've been sitting over here drying. I've got 4 chicken thighs I'm putting in here. Okay. Wash my hands good after handling the chicken. Now I think that's all I need to do. I'm going to put it on the soup function. Let me see here what it says. Place the chicken thighs. Oh, I need to put a bay leaf in there too. Place the lid on the Instant Pot and close the valve and press the soup function and let it cook for 30 minutes. And when it goes off, allow the pressure to release naturally for about 20 minutes. So let me do that. Get a bay leaf. Okay, down here in the lower kitchen, I don't have as much spices down here, but I did have this fresh thing of bay leaves. So I didn't have to go back upstairs. We put one bay leaf in there. Let me grab my lid. And I've got the seal ring in the lid. And I've got the valve thing on. I'm going to set it here. Make sure it's over on seal. Press the soup function. And it went to 15 minutes, but I want to cook it for 30. And it will start here in just a minute. And it'll be doing its thing. So while this is cooking, it's still on the preheat. It's on, and once it comes up to pressure, then it will start cooking for 30 minutes, and it'll start counting down. But that will be my food for tomorrow, is this chicken soup, and it's going to be so cold. Tomorrow it'll be so good. But for tonight, I have one bowl of the chili that I made Saturday, so I'm going to eat that. And I just want to show y'all this lid. This is just a Corelle ware bowl, an older pattern, and the lid is off of the Folgers coffee cup. It fits perfectly on these bowls, and it just I'm trying to get it up here where you can see what I'm doing, and I hope I don't spill this on myself. Let me do it down here. Okay, now it came off, and there's my chili, and there's the lid. So don't throw your lids away. If you have the size bowl that it will fit on, it's really handy. Instead of using the plastic wrap, you just put the lid on it to store it. So I'm going to add a little water to this to thin it down and pop it in the microwave, and that will be my supper tonight with some sour cream and cheddar cheese on top. This is really hot, just out of the microwave, but that's going to be a good supper on a cold night. The homemade chili, so I recommend you make it. Soup is done. I let it cook for 30 minutes and then let it slow release for natural release for 20 minutes. Then I took the chicken thighs out and put them in this bowl and just picked all the chicken, left all the skin and bones behind, and put the chicken back in the soup. So this will be good for tomorrow. This is the next day, and I just had soup for supper, and it was absolutely delicious. Now, it's been in the refrigerator, so you can see how all it just kind of gelled up. But if you remember, I only used 2 cups of liquid when I made the soup. So when I heated it up, I added more chicken broth to make it more liquidy. I couldn't eat everything I heated up, but it really filled me up, and it was delicious. So I'm going to put some of this in freezer containers to put in the freezer for later, and when I heat it up, I just add more chicken broth till it gets to the consistency that I want it. So it's delicious, y'all. Well, this is the last day that my 2 workers are here, and I treated them to some homemade biscuits and tenderloin and jelly. So now they got their belly full so they can finish working for the day.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And Stephanie, you may know this guy. And he just had some of your Christmas jelly.
It was good.
All right. Thank you guys for all your hard work. I'm going to miss you when you're gone.
No problem. And ditto.
You'll have to come back and see me when you're out this way.
We will.
What a day this has been. It's on Friday, and it's the day before the Arctic weather is going to hit our area. I think it was around 40 today, and the workers are still at the house. They got the farm seek installed today, but I had to leave and go to the cabinet place where I bought my kitchen cabinets. I had bought a bathroom vanity at Lowe's online because they didn't have them in the store. and it came with a cultured marble top that is beautiful and a rectangular sink in the middle like I wanted, and it had the backsplash but only one side splash. Go figure. I'm sorry about the sun. It's really bright, but anyway, I went online and found out how to order another one, but they sent me a note and said they were out of stock, and so I had to cancel the order. So the next plan was to go to the cabinet place where I've gotten the countertops and go through their scrapyard to see if they had any marble slabs, scrap slabs that matched the vanity as close as possible. And I did. I was able to find a piece, and they're going to cut 2 side splashes for me. So got that done. But when I came home, I stopped at Walmart to get some things, and at the grocery store with the storm coming. And when I got home, the workers were gone, and the sink was installed and everything. But when I opened the door, oh, it was such a strong odor. And I didn't know if it was some kind of adhesive that they had used on the sink installation, or was it my gas logs smelling? It did kind of smell like propane, a strong propane smell, gas smell. So I turned the gas logs off and aired out the house, and found my carbon monoxide detector, but I needed a new battery, so I just came out to get a new battery for it. And since it was pretty, the back porch where they've been doing all this sawing, it was just a mess. So I had to blow all that off, and I had to scrub it with soap and water and rinse it off real good, and then swept all the water off that I could, got the blower and tried to blow it off because the temperature's going to drop here pretty soon, and it will be a sheet of ice if it don't hurry up and dry. So I'm hoping it's dried quite a bit since I've been gone. On my way back home now from getting those batteries. But I've just been, the dust is everywhere. You wipe and wipe and wipe. You vacuum and vacuum more and vacuum more. And you mop and you vacuum and you mop and you vacuum. But I'm getting there. I'm getting it ready. Getting it cleaned up. So I didn't do an extra video this week because I've been busy. That's what I've been doing. So I'll be home soon, and I'll keep it updated. Well, good Saturday morning to everybody. And this is the day the storm is supposed to roll in later today. So I've just been busy making final preparations for outside. And right now I'm taking something to the garage to store down here because I bought a new one. I bought a new toilet cleaner kit. So I'm going to just take this one to the garage just to get out of the way for now. And just going to sit it right there. And I left some lights on back here when I was in here earlier. So I'm going to go back here. Turn these lights off, and out here where the horses used to be, let me turn this around. We got a freeze-proof faucet there, and this water hose hooked up to it there on that end, and that's just a short piece to fill up the water trough. I just left it alone, but I unhooked that water hose. And of course the piping is insulated with that foam thing, so that should be fine. We don't use it much now since we don't have the horses, and I miss them terribly still. But close this door. So I've already brought the truck down and got a piece of insulation and drove down to the road front where our water meter is and took the cover off the water meter and cleaned the dirt and debris out of there, and then stuffed that insulation in on top of the meter because we're supposed to get down to 0 or below temperatures, and I don't want anything to freeze. The other waterproof out here, it's got that insulation around it too. And I know last year Joe piled some hay or straw around it, but I might do that too with it getting that cold. I just don't want anything to freeze. So right now I'm going to go up here to the front porch, and my porch pot that I made during Christmas has seen its better days, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'll just take all, look at that. It was so pretty. I'm going to take all of this dead stuff out, put it in the burn pile, and I'll save the pot with the foam in it, and I'll make another one next year. Well, the foam crumbled up, so I won't be able to save it, but I'll save the pot and the bow and my artificial clip-on berries. I'll put those in there. So that will be ready to go for next year. So my gas tanks, I got 2 100-pound cylinders that James took and filled up for me earlier this year. And I started using them in November, about mid-November. And let's see, was it last weekend or weekend before? The first tank ran out. So I was able to unhook them, pull the empty tank out, get the other tank back over, hook it up to the gas line there, checked it for leaks, and got the fireplace going again. So that tank's just been going for like 2 weeks, and I'm hoping, since that one lasted 2 months, that will get me through the winter. But with this extreme cold, and if we lose power, I might have to use more gas. So I don't know. I pray it will hold up. Well, I made it back inside. It's 27 degrees out there. So yes, this is no makeup. My hair's not fixed. This is the real me. So I had some coffee made. So I'm going to drink my second cup. See the steam coming off? I need something to warm me up. And to go with the coffee, I've got something special. Yesterday I was in Johnson City doing the errands for the bathroom vanity and picking out more marble to match. I told you that story. Anyway, I went by the VA Mountain Home Cemetery where Joe's buried, and just went by to say I miss him and I love him. And he's buried right behind Annie Ruth's Donuts. Oh my goodness. They are so good. They're like Amish or Mennonite. And I think this camera's sitting crooked. I'm sorry. But anyway, those donuts, you can't beat them. And they're huge. They're just like that big or bigger. And they have a lot of other things too. And one of those other things is pretzels. And you've never had a good pretzel till you have one of theirs. So I got one yesterday, and I've eaten most of it already, but I saved part of it. It is so delicious. So I'm going to have this with my coffee and sit here and rest a minute and warm up. And then I'm going to go upstairs to work and do some more cleaning. They got the farm sink in yesterday. I don't think it's actually, it's just mounted there. It's not attached or anything. I think it's just sitting there, and they have to get some adhesive. And by the way, I figured out what that smell was when I came home. And it was some type of sealant or I don't know. But anyway, the contractor was down here. The flooring down here is acid stained concrete. And when they moved my old refrigerator I had upstairs down here, it scraped part of the acid stain concrete. So he was repairing that yesterday. And that stuff that you use on it, it stinks to high heaven. You can't be around it. But I opened up all the doors down here and upstairs and got a good flow going through the house and aired it out really good so I don't smell it anymore. But I did get my carbon monoxide detector out. I did get the battery put in, and I've got it plugged in over here just for safety with the gas logs. And I was reading on it, and those things only last for 7 years, and you have to get a new one. It says it will no longer detect carbon monoxide, CO or whatever. After 7 years, it just quits working. And I think that's crazy. So I've ordered another one off of Amazon, so it'll be here. But in the meantime, I've got this one plugged in. So anyway, got that figured out. Problem solved. And they'll be back Monday to do some more work. But I'll be upstairs cleaning with all the dust that accumulated on everything. You have to wipe everything down with a moist towel and keep wiping and wiping. And the floors, you vacuum and vacuum and vacuum some more and mop and mop and mop some more until it's clean. So that's what I'm going to be working on this afternoon, is upstairs, because I want to get myself moved back upstairs. And I miss my bed up there. It's a Tempur-Pedic bed we've had for over 20 years. And I used to have back trouble all the time. But when Joe bought me that bed, I don't have any more back trouble. So my back's been bothering me sleeping. This is a good mattress down here, but it's just my back. So I need to get back to my Tempur-Pedic. So I'll be busy today, and you all stay warm and stay safe. The storm is just going to be horrible in places. We are so blessed here in Northeast Tennessee. We're in like a horseshoe area, and it seems like we are spared from all of the really harsh storms. And earlier this week, they were calling for 8 to 12 inches of snow. Then as the week went on, they said, well, we could have like 4 or 5 inches. And as the week went on, they said, well, we may just have 1 inch or less, but just rain and sleet. And now today, they're calling for just a mix of rain and sleet. But the wind is going to pick up really bad. The temperatures are going to take a nosedive. And with the rain and sleet, it's just going to turn into a solid sheet of ice. So everybody, I hope you're prepared. And thank you, Lord, that we're spared all that deep, deep snow that some people are experiencing. And I pray that you be with them and keep them safe. Keep the power on for us, Lord. And if the power goes off, that we will be prepared with emergency heat in a way to live until it's back on. Father, we just thank you for taking care of us and watching over us. And Father, be with all of those who are homeless and get them in shelters, Lord, where they'll be safe and warm. And I ask this in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Okay. Well, it's 4 o'clock, January the 24th, and the Arctic storm has arrived to Northeast Tennessee. The snow is falling, and it's just real hazy looking all around. I hear a plane coming in. It's funny when it's weather like this that you hear the sounds of the plane. There it goes. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. You hear it a lot better. It's louder for some reason. But this is the beginning of the storm. Well, good Sunday morning, everybody, and welcome to my Appalachian Life. And this is the weekend of the big snowstorm, ice storm coming through. And it hit here yesterday around 4 o'clock. It started snowing, lightly snowing. And by 7 o'clock, there was just a dusting on the ground. And I got up this morning and there was nothing on the ground whatsoever, but it had rained through the night, and the temperature this morning was in the 30s. Well, now it's already up to 45 degrees, and so I got dressed and ready for church this morning. They had canceled everything except for having a worship service at 11 o'clock. So I was planning on going to that. So I got ready and I had some extra time. So I sat down and pulled up my computer to see if I could see a weather forecast or anything. It's hard to find one locally here on Sunday mornings. But anyway, I saw a post where in Bristol, Virginia, which is about 30 miles away from me, north, they had pictures of ice-covered trees down and were urging people to stay home, that things had become very icy. And I thought, well, that is strange because it's so warm here, just 30 miles away. And then I saw another post in Unicoi, which is east of me, just a few miles, and they were reporting icy roads and ice-covered bridges for people to be cautious. Then I saw another post about the power company in Kingsport, which is west of me. They were reporting 1,000 customers without power this morning. So I was confused because I didn't see that here where I'm at, and my church is just about 3 miles away. But I started getting concerned that if I go to church, maybe the temperatures are going to take a nosedive and the wet roads will turn to ice. So I decided to stay home, stay put, and play it safe. And I just watched it on TV. So I just finished watching the church service and talked to a friend on the phone for a few minutes. So I'm getting ready now to make this steak I got at the grocery store, and it says it is round bottom steak. It's kind of thin, so I'm going to season it up and braise it, and it makes it so tender and delicious, and I'll just show you how I do that. But I'll have this to eat on for the next few days. So let's get started on this. Okay, so we'll get this opened up here. And I take a sharp knife and make little diagonal cuts about a ½ inch to an inch apart. And then I flip it over and do the same thing on the opposite side. And you want your cuts to be opposite from where the grain is running this way. So I'm cutting this way. So there's the first one. And you're not cutting all the way through, just barely. See, the grain is running this way. So I'm cutting diagonal marks this way, just to barely cut the top of that steak. Now let me wash my hands. And I'm going to season it with just some salt and pepper on both sides. And I have my skillet heating up with some oil and butter in there. And it should be good and hot. And I'm going to place this steak right into it. I'll get you over there where you can see. Turn you around here. Okay, I've got it on medium high, and I'm just going to sear both sides real quick. I'm going to flip it over. See that nice brown color? And we'll let this other side get to that color too. I don't think my stove is level because all the liquid seems to be shifting to this side. So I'm going to have to check out and see if I can get this stove leveled up. Okay, let's check the other side now and see if it's, yes, see that pretty dark color? And that one's ready too. So now we're going to sprinkle some Worcestershire sauce on top. A good splash. And add about a half a cup of water. Quickly put your tight lid on there and turn it down to simmer. And we're going to let this go for about an hour and a half. And it's going to be the most tender. I'll set my timer here in a minute. It's going to be the most tender steak you've ever had. This steak is actually really good to use cheap pieces of meat, and it just tenderizes it and makes it so good. But it makes great steak sandwiches. Just put some mayonnaise on some bread and a piece of steak, and it's delicious. Or you can just eat it by itself with baked potato and salad, or you can make steak fajitas with it. Just a variety of things. And those two big pieces of steak will probably make 4 meals for me this week. So, like I said, after you put your Worcestershire sauce and the water in, put your tight cover on, and it traps all that steam and moisture in there, and set your temperature down to simmer and let it go. Just sit there for about an hour and a half, but don't let it run out of liquid. If you had a glass top, it would be even better, so you can keep an eye on the liquid and add some more water if you needed to. But with this one, I can't see through it, so I'm going to have to peek after about an hour or so just to make sure it's not running dry, and I'll need to add some more liquid. But give it a try. It's just the easiest thing to make, and it is delicious. Hey, today is Monday, and it's really, really cold outside. I'm not sure what the temperature is. It's in the 20s right now, I think, and it's about almost 4 o'clock. I'm starting to feel hungry, so guess what I'm going to eat for supper? Remember the steak that I made yesterday? Well, I'm going to make a steak sandwich. So I've got these thin sandwich things made by, I think I got these at Aldi's. Yeah, it's the Love and Fresh brand. So I'm going to open one of these, and I'm going to put it in the toaster for a little bit to warm it up. And I'm going to put some Duke's mayonnaise on it, and a slice of this steak that I made yesterday, and that should be a good sandwich. I'll show you when I get it done. Well, this just came out of the toaster, and look how yummy that looks. We need the lighting, don't we? Sorry about the lighting. I didn't grab my light ring. It's upstairs. Don't feel like going up there to get it. I'm going to put a little mayonnaise on this side of the bread. Transfer that piece of steak. I laid the steak on the bread when it was heating up. All that good juice is soaking up in that bread there. All right. We're going to have a good sandwich. Now I also made some tea, and it's been steeping and ready to pour over ice. Let me get this and see if I can get it in this. No, I don't make y'all's tea. I tried y'all's tea, but I just tell you I didn't really like it. I guess it's all what you get used to. But I've always used Louisiana tea, and that's what this is. And I didn't make a big picture of it because it's just me. But I like it iced tea, and I make it with, I sweeten it with half sugar and half stevia. So cut down on the sugar some. But in the wintertime when it's cold, I also like to pour a cup and heat it up and just drink it hot. Put a little lemon in it. So I'm going to have my steak sandwich and a glass of iced tea. Doesn't that look good? And I assure you, let me go ahead and taste it. That's going to hit the spot. And that steak is so tender. Delicious. We'll talk to you later. I got some eating to do. I'm really enjoying the sandwich. It is so good. And by the way, I just wanted to tell you, I asked Alexa what the temperature was, and she said it's 18 degrees outside. That's cold. Y'all stay warm. Well, it's Tuesday morning, a little after 7, and we've been having some power glitches since around 6 a.m. this morning, about 3 or 4, where it just goes off and right back on. But now it's gone off and it's not coming back on. So Mercy and I, can you see Mercy? Hey Mercy. She's in my lap. We got the fire going, the gas logs are going, and I've shut the door to close in this area, the den and the kitchen. So all the heat will be contained in this room. And I have my emergency lantern on. So this is the emergency lantern. And I was able to make a pot of coffee before the power went out. So I had my cup of coffee sitting on top of that so it will stay warm. And the gas logs are going. And Mercy is here in my lap. And we're covered up with the quilt. We'll see how long we're without power, Mercy. Hopefully not very long. May the Lord be with us all. By the way, it's 6 degrees outside right now.